This is why the Los Angeles Lakers drafted Bronny James at 55. We have seen an unbelievable transformation, especially in the ESPN reporting on this issue. Stephen A. Smith even talked about this situation, knowing this was as scripted and arranged as it could possibly be. It was apparent and evident. Here's exactly what he said a little over a month ago.
What I'm more interested in knowing is where Bronny James will end up going if indeed he chooses to transfer. It should not be in the NBA. Because based on his resume in his first year in college, if he was to take his talents to the professional level, everybody will believe it's because of his dad. And that's not a good look for him. So I don't think he's gonna do that, nor do I think he should. What I think he should do is find the right program to go to on a collegiate level. It's time to talk a little bit about Bronny James, the son of LeBron James, of course. According to his agent, Rich Paul, Bronny will remain in the June draft and officially forego his remaining college eligibility. Bronny entered the draft combine earlier this month. He was ranked 98th in ESPN's top 100 prospects. But after a strong showing at the combine and drills and scrimmages, according to scouts, evaluators, et cetera, Bronny climbed 44 spots to the 54th ranking. Now, several teams have reportedly reached out to James for workouts. So far, he's declined all of them except for his dad's Los Angeles Lakers and the Phoenix Suns. Let me try to keep my composure here and be cool about this. If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it ain't a damn mongoose. What the hell do you think we're thinking? Here comes LeBron James now. Okay, you go to the combine, right? And you're ranked 98th. And because of your performance, you're conveniently upgraded to the 54th best prospect as opposed to the 98th. Why do I bring up that? Why is the magic number 54? Guess who has the 55th pick in the second round of the NBA draft? It's the Los Angeles Lakers. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. I mean, damn. You know, because, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you noticed or not, I'm not allowed to say 2 + 2 = 4. I'm just not allowed. I mean, I don't know if you noticed. That's selling out. That's selling out. There's something wrong with me for pointing that out. Of all the spots you could have fallen to, you could have fallen to 64th. You could have fell to 44th. You could have fell to 70th. You could have fell to 60th. But conveniently, you fall to 54 when the Lakers got the 55th pick. Really? Really? I mean, LeBron James, in case you don't know, and I'm not saying that you're guilty of this coincidence, I don't know. Don't care, really. As long as your son is healthy and thriving and living his best life, I'm happy for the LeBron James family. But what I'm saying is, damn. I mean, what's it gonna look like you did next? Literally walked into a .com site or a newspaper site or to a television studio and wrote the damn script for everybody? 44 slots. 44 slots to 54th from 98th when the Lakers got the 55th pick. I mean, I know people like to spit in our face and tell us it's raining, but do you have to be so obvious?
So even then, Stephen A., arguably the biggest ESPN personality, said that this is just apparent, that it's being set up, and set up in a way that is just blatantly straight up in everyone's faces. If Bronny James would not be the son of LeBron James right now, he would not be selected in this NBA draft for sure. With his statistics averaging 4 points per game, with his health issues relating to his heart as well, he would not be selected in this draft for sure. If teams would be interested in him, he would probably have to go for one more year to college and stay healthy and be more productive to have a chance to be picked by an NBA team. There's no question that Bronny got selected in this draft thanks to two things and two things only. The first being that his dad is LeBron James. The second is that Clutch Sports, the agency with probably the most influence around the NBA right now, wanted it to happen as well. Listen to my thoughts on this and think about it logically. LeBron James did not sign his extension or new contract with the Lakers all the way up to the draft as of yet. He stated months ago that if Bronny decides to enter the draft, he will most likely go and play on the team that drafts his son, as that is his dream to play with his son on the same team. So LeBron James was already putting pressure on the Los Angeles Lakers to draft his son or he will leave. That was the case for sure. Now, Clutch Sports, the agency ran by LeBron's best friend Rich Paul, played its part as well, and it was a big one. I'm almost 100% sure that Clutch Sports was threatening and blackmailing the Lakers as well to force them to draft Bronny, or these were going to be the consequences. Number one, the first would be, of course, that the Lakers would lose LeBron James. The second would be that they would most likely lose him to a conference rival like the Phoenix Suns, as the Suns were the only team that Rich Paul wasn't threatening and pushing away from drafting Bronny. Why do you think the Suns would have been okay? Well, LeBron's son would be there, that's one, and LeBron would be able to play with KD, Devin Booker, and the rest of the Suns squad. This roster would have given him a chance at another NBA title. That's why it was the only one not being told not to draft Bronny. To prove that Rich Paul from Clutch Sports was threatening teams, listen to the GM of the Golden State Warriors, Bob Myers.
15 seconds.
Right now, Rich Paul's calling teams, don't take Bronny James. He's telling them, do not take him, okay? He's saying, don't take him. You take him, he's going to Australia. So he has a plan and he has a place.
But he's not telling the Lakers.
I don't know if he's telling one team that.
Mark Tatum.
The third consequence, and maybe we could consider this as the worst one, is that Clutch Sports has been growing in power and influence with players every single year. Clutch Sports is representing more and more very good players. A few examples would be Draymond Green, Anthony Davis, who currently plays for the Lakers, De'Aaron Fox, and Zach LaVine, for example. Now, this would be the worst because whenever the Lakers would lose LeBron, whether it would be now or a few years from now, the Clutch Sports would seriously limit them access to free agents they could pursue to rebuild their franchise. Yes, I do think that these tactics were used to blackmail the Lakers and control what they do in the draft. They had no choice. Clutch and LeBron had put as much pressure on the Laker franchise as they possibly could to make them draft Bronny James, even though at this moment in time, he's not at all ready for the NBA. There was another NBA commentator that was saying something very similar to what I'm saying here. But it's nice to know that someone that's connected to the sport for a very long time thinks very the same way as I do.
With a certain pick, would draft Bronny James. Okay, I believe that wholeheartedly. Because they're not only doing it for LeBron, they also doing it for future relationships.
Absolutely.
That they gotta have to stay competitive. And that future relationship basically is an enforcement in the NBA. He's a force to be reckoned with, and that's Clutch, and that's Rich Paul.
This was not an accident. This was pre-planned and pre-arranged. I don't think Bronny James is a bad kid. I don't know him enough. The same view I had of LeBron James in the beginning of his career. I can see he works hard, and maybe in a few years he will be a very good player in the NBA. I don't think he'll be a star, but a very good player. But at this time in the draft, with other players that had much better potential and should have been easily chosen over Bronny in the draft, this choice is not right. The only reason Bronny got chosen and got this chance is because of who his father is. This controls everything because Clutch wouldn't have been involved in that either if it wasn't for who the daddy of Bronny James is. That's the key to everything. This whole thing started with James not signing the contract to see who the Lakers draft. He has until the 29th of June to do so. Then it went to overdrive when Clutch Sports got involved to put on even more pressure on the Lakers and force this selection to help LeBron fulfill his dream and add something to his resume that no one else has. Why else do you think this was done? This was not for Bronny. Bronny already is a millionaire. The kid doesn't need the NBA. LeBron James needed Bronny in the NBA to be able to add something to his resume, to help his constant push to be considered the GOAT, which he's not even close to being. He has manipulated so many situations in his career to get 4 titles in over 20 years now, that thinking about it just makes you question everything. If James would have stayed in Cleveland all of his career, how good is he? And how many actual titles would he have won then? Maybe 1? Maybe none? That's what Mike and Kobe did. They stayed with their franchise. Because he desperately needed Dwayne Wade to teach him how to win a title, he had to leave. He wasn't good enough to win in Cleveland. This has been a LeBron James authored and directed manipulation, as almost everything else in this man's career has been. I'll see you soon, and consider one of these other great videos from my channel. Thank you.